welcome to another edition of the Blacktor Studio. Today we have with us the amazing Alexis Gordon, who is currently starring in Guys and Dolls at the Stratford Festival. And they just celebrated their opening night. Congratulations, Alexis.
Thank you.
And how are you today?
Good.
You know, we're here in the back porch of your amazing house here in Stratford.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was here last night sleeping here. Perska, we're sisters from another mister.
Truly, though.
It's true. Mm-hmm. It's true. Well, Alexis, we're going to start at the very beginning of your life.
Oh. Like not mentally prepared.
Yes. This is how...
One more sip of caffeine. My life.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alexis Gordon, where were you born?
I was born in London, Ontario. Just down the street from here, sort of. 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Mm-hmm. Very nice. So this is like your neighborhood.
Ish, yeah.
That's delightful.
Yeah.
And are you an only child? What do your parents do?
I'm not an only child. I have
Talk
an older
to me.
brother.
I knew nothing of this, guys.
We're complete opposites.
No.
I was going to make a joke. We don't talk about him, but he'll probably see this. So I adore him. He's getting married this summer. I'm a bridesmaid. It's exciting.
That's amazing. You got the time off. What was that? Just checking.
Yeah. I'm an unappearing understudy in Tartuffe, and we've got a Tartuffe, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Never a dull moment. The actor's life.
Live theater, ladies and gentlemen. Never miss a chance to see some live theater.
Send the prayers.
Okay, and what do your parents do?
My dad owns a carpet and tile store,
cool.
all flooring, hardwood, whatever. And my mom, she does like health food services management, so she used to run like hospital cafeterias in London, but now she manages a Hero Burger in London. She's sort of trying to...
Hero Burger? I love the Hero Burger.
It's tasty. I don't get free burgers, but I get a whole 10% off, so I'll take it.
I mean, I guess.
Right.
What's the benefit of your mom working at Hero Burger if you can't get a free burger? Hero Burger, I'm talking to you.
It's just a really good excuse to also just go eat a burger, though.
Touche.
Like, hey, mommy, poutine.
No big deal.
Yeah.
So your parents, they put you guys in singing, dancing, acting when you were really young, or it's just you? And
I went to the Shakespeare School summer camp here at Stratford when I was 16. Blythe Wilson was in that season. Shane Carty was in that season. Jonathan Winsby was in that season. Anyway, I watched them. I was like, wow, I want to do this. I saw Janet Sears' Harlem Duet at the Studio Theater.
Oh my God.
And
that must have been amazing.
It was, but I sort of didn't think I could do the theater thing until I saw that, because I didn't see anyone who looked like me on the stage. And then I saw that and was like, oh, I actually think I can. Karen Robinson was in that production. And so was Nigel Williams, who, like, I've worked with Karen since then in Gravitational Pull, and she was here last season at Stratford.
That's an amazing story, actually.
Yeah. So then from there, actually, I met Kyle Blair that season. He's from London. And I was like, I'm from London. We got to be besties. And he was like, don't just take all the classes. And I was like, yeah. So I did.
Thank you, Kyle Blair, for inspiring young Alexis Gordon to take all the classes and become the star that she is.
All because of you. No, partially because of you. Thank you.
You did your due diligence, Kyle Blair. And now you're with me at the Shaw Festival, being brilliant in Me and My Girl. So let's just say, from one brilliant actor to another.
Thank you.
So you didn't sing or dance or act when you were younger. This just started when you were 16.
Mm-hmm.
2006.
I have gray hairs. I'm older than you think I am. I'm an old soul.
I was going to say, I'm older than No, you're just an old soul.
Yes.
It's totally fine. I'm just saying, it's only been 10 years, and now she's starring at the Stratford Festival in Guys and Dolls as this amazing singer who never sang or danced or acted before.
I sang a lot in the shower. My mom was like, we need to channel that. Ugh. I sang in choirs and stuff when I was 14, and that's when I started.
Oh my gosh, you only started singing 10 years ago. 13 years ago.
Yeah.
You're an incredible talent.
Again, singing in that shower just really just
guys,
up those pipes.
Shower singing, Alexis Gordon.
It's the best audience ever. You're always a star. Great acoustics.
That ain't no joke. By the way, we're kind of joking, as in, please, if you sing in the shower and that's all you do and you don't get any training, because Alexis did finally get some training.
I did.
Don't think that this is that easy. This is natural talent right here. Just to be clear. So then you did the Stratford, the Shakespeare.
So it's like a summer camp. It's a 2-week summer camp where, like, it's actually amazing. It's 2 weeks. You get to see, I think we saw 10 shows or something ridiculous. And I mean, you're exhausted the whole time. And they let you write your own musical based on, our year was based on 12th Night, actually.
Very cool.
And they split you up in groups and you get a chunk of the show and you get to write songs with Paul Shelton, and you feel like this superstar who just like wrote a song and performed it. It's life-changing, and I still go back and like do chats with them, which is actually really fun.
Beautiful. So you did that only one summer, and then that was like, this is what I want to do.
And I was like, sign me up.
So then what happened after that? That was the first time you saw yourself as being an actor.
As that could be a feasible career.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then what happened from there?
I had to get a color-coordinated calendar because I was doing so many things. I had like choir on Tuesdays, highlighted in pink. Original Kids on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, highlighted in blue. Kyle Blair did it back in the day. Everyone talks about Rachel McAdams, like taught at the summer camp. Ben Sanders did it too.
Amazing actress.
It's this little troupe, and Trevor Patt, who's in Guys and Dolls with me. It's this acting troupe, and you can take classes, although I think I skipped that because they're on Saturdays, and my parents and I go to church on Saturdays. The first show I did there was like a gender-reversed version of Romeo and Juliet.
Amazing.
Yep, and then I did like a Sondheim. But yeah, you get to perform shows, I think, twice a year. It's a lot of fun. It's amazing.
So you did this acting troupe. You didn't go to formal school.
I went to acting school and university after that.
You did? Okay.
This was during high school.
Of course it was.
Yeah. Just like
because she was only 16
on the calendar. Yeah. Sort of cool thing was my high school did Guys and Dolls when I was in grade 9, and I was like, maybe I'll audition, and then I was like, oh, I think like no, like theater, like it's for like skinny pretty people, and I didn't think I could audition.
Firstly, don't ever say things like skinny pretty people, because that's what you are.
Bless you. But like, just again, that moment of like not seeing yourself, your size, your color, your whatever on stage, I was just like, oh no, I'm like, no, I'll just watch or maybe volunteer or something. So I remember like watching it. So it's sort of like a funny moment of like, I'm Sarah Brown, and thank God I'm not a hotbox girl, but God, those babes that like
baby dancing their faces off.
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, I'm like, I cannot dance that hotbox routine or the Havana routine. You will see.
I will see.
Their legs are up to it's glorious.
Well, I mean, Donna Fjord, she demands a lot from all of her performers, her actors, her dancers, and her singers. So I do not doubt that they are kicking their face while you're singing your face. So you had all these different things that you were doing during high school, and then
I did take dance classes, but they didn't make me the ballerina I wanted to be.
They didn't make me the ballerina I wanted to be either. So
they help instill that good sense of rhythm and a hearty smile. Look up here, not at my feet.
See, and a good sense of fake it till you make it.
Yes, and optimism. Just try.
Some poise.
Just try.
And so then what happened after high school?
I went to the University of Windsor for acting, and I got my BFA in acting, so 4 years there.
And then what happened?
Well, I went to the U of Windsor, and it's a straight acting program. It used to be a conjoined, they used to have a musical theater program, which like Kyle did. I think Alana Bridgewater did that program too. And now it's just straight acting, where they don't love the musical theater, but I was very stubborn and I decided to keep it up on the side. I also went to Cap 21 in New York City. They've got a 1.5 month long summer program.
Cap 21.
It's its own sort of independent conservatory program, but it can partner with NYU for a degree program. It's got different facets to it. But I was sort of like, I need my fame school. So I was like, I need to go to New York and take class and like skip down the streets and think I'm a star for a second. Which I was like, I'm going to live here. I'm going to move here. And then my mom was like, how about you go back to Windsor and finish your degree, please? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll do that too. Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Keep me on the straight and narrow. Got it.
Yeah. But that was a lot of fun. I took like tap there, and they're like, keep it up. Like, you're tapping, and think of 2 months ago when you couldn't. And I was like, yeah. And then I didn't.
And then she never tapped again.
Get with the dance.
So then university finished, and then what happened?
I was 2012. I graduated, and I had a gig right after. I worked at the Victoria Petrolia Playhouse with the Davids in Petrolia.
Davids.
David Hogan, David Rogers, the Davids, David Squared, if you shall.
I laugh because you were like, with the Davids. Like, our whole audience knows who the Davids are.
David Hogan, David Rogers, the Davids.
So you worked there.
I worked there. We did Godspell, which was like crazy amounts of fun. I met like my best friends there. One of them's getting married next year. It's so lovely. Yeah, and I'm a maid of honor.
We'll see what that schedule's like.
It's on Monday though.
Because they were like, I want all my theater performer actors to come to this.
Where's that cheeky
wedding
girl gonna be?
Monday.
God bless him. And then I went from that gig to a musical version of A Midsummer Night's Dream that was like performed in parks and toured around sort of like the St. Catharines to Kingston Loop. And that was crazy fun. And then it all ended. And I was like, ah! I had such a high after graduating of these gigs. And then it was sort of like nothing. And I worked at a shoe store in Toronto. I was sort of like, why have I done this to myself? This is so hard. Mental health in acting doesn't exist. Ah! So that was a tough time. And I auditioned for Stratford and was like, yeah, nope. Auditioned for things and was just sort of like nothing. I had an agent, which was helpful. And then they were going to remount Godspell. I think I did like little things in the interim there, but they were going to remount Godspell. And I ended up booking the straight play at Factory Theatre, The Gravitational Pull of Bernice Trimble with Karen Robinson.
Yes.
And I was sort of like, I've been doing musicals. Like, I should probably put a straight show on my straight acting show. I hate that that's the way we describe it.
Yeah.
But I'm so sorry. That's
a straight
my
play.
go-to.
Yeah.
A play. I should put a play on my resume as opposed to just musicals to remind people that I went to the U of Windsor for acting and I can do just that as well as the singing thing. And so and the script, I like wept. And in the script was Bernice Trimble makes a potato casserole, and that's what my mom makes, which is weird. It's this mother-daughter sort of story. And my mom baked one for me as good luck, and that day that she baked it, like 3 hours later, I found out I booked it. It was one of those just like, wah! So mom was like, which one are you going to pick? And so I ended up picking the play, and that was amazing. And it was sort of one of those, like, I saw my friends go off on tour and was like, what have I chosen?
Yeah.
Like, I picked the 2-month gig in Toronto over the, like, 6-month tour, like, with my best friends.
Yeah.
Like, have I made the worst choice ever? But then Beth Russell, the casting director at Stratford, came and saw that, and I had an audition for Stratford, like, a few weeks later, and I still didn't get in. That was still too early. That was still not my time. But it's kind of cool that, like years later, that she got to see me do that, and yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Checking notes. Well, Alexis Gordon, do you have any favorite roles that you've performed or that you would like to perform? Dream goals, I call them.
Hashtag dream goals. Caffeine.
Let's say that again.
Dream roles.
No, dream goals.
No, I
Get
thought you
it.
said dream.
We're gonna do this one more time. Ready?
Dream.
No, I gotta start at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be a blooper. It's gonna be one of the things that I put on the thing.
Dream browse.
So, Alexis Gordon, do you have any favorite roles that you've performed before or that you would like to perform? Dream goals, as it were.
Dream goals. Anyone who knows me just a little tiny bit knows that I'm a little bit obsessed with Audra McDonald.
As we all are. I think
Audra,
that in every single video I've done or interview that I've done so far, you have been mentioned. Audra, be our friends.
Just call me.
We've met a couple times. Anyways, moving right along. Moving back to Alexis,
You've met her a couple times and you're just telling me this now.
I'm sorry. It's true.
Dream goals. Work with Audra.
Fair. That's fair.
My, like, dream scenario, like, if someone was like, here's the lottery of your choice. The lottery of my choice would be to play Clara to Audra's Margaret in The Light in the Piazza in an all-black cast version.
Producers, directors, you heard it here first.
Get on it.
Also, just to let you know, I think I've heard before that Alexis Gordon is the Audra McDonald
of Canada. Huh?
Real talk. So, again, I'm just going to keep saying Audra in hopes that you watch this, Audra, and then you come and be with us, Audra.
And all of our friends retweet tagging Audra in it.
Audra, Audra, Audra.
Subtle enough? Cool. But in that vein, it's sort of like, what are your dream roles? Sarah in Ragtime. Bess and Porgy and Bess. It's all sort of on that very specific Audra track. I opened my rep book for auditions and was sort of looking through, and I was like, Audra has sang almost every single one. So needless to say, I was like, I'm just gonna tidy this up, and I threw a few new ones in there.
Yeah. That were
Be your own person.
Related.
Be your own person.
Yeah. Good for you.
You learn the hard way sometimes.
But do you?
Still learning.
Anyways. Do you have any special skills? Anything that you'd like to share with our audience? Or anything that that's a lie. I just want to know your special skills. What? Begin again.
I like those bloopers. That's a lie.
Do you have any special skills or things that nobody would know that you can do or that you do?
I play the ukulele. Not
Do
super
you?
well. I actually want to learn how to play the cello, and now that I've said it, it has to happen.
Yes, because now she's being held accountable by our viewers.
Yes. Ben in the orchestra pit for Guys and Dolls, he plays cello, and he's willing to teach me, so it's starting to get set up. What else can I do? I used to love baking. I used to bake a ton in university, and then just bring the stuff into your classmates so you don't eat it all by yourself. But
that's the reason, I know.
But being a gypsy, it's hard to bring a mixer with you, so.
Agree, but now you have a home.
It's true. Well, there you go. So I should get back on that.
Well, I mean, no, you don't need to. Unless you bring it to me.
Yeah, you know.
Although nobody needs that. It's fine. I'm dealing with it.
You're beautiful.
Take it. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on stage, or funniest, that you don't mind sharing with our viewers?
I adore asking this question. I am the person who blocked it from their memory because it was so traumatizing, but now I do have one that I've bookmarked as the go-to because everything else is too horrifying. Actually, we might have two. During night music, a little night music last season at the Avon Theater, beautiful musical, gorgeous costumes. Deb Hansen made my floral lace dreams come true. They were so stunning. They were all flouncy and lovely, and they had trains. And we did not get to practice with those actual trains. We had rehearsal trains that were nothing like the costume.
Of course not.
We didn't get to practice with those actual trains till tech dress. So we had about 3-4 chances before we were actually doing the show in front of an audience. And I made it through most of the season without falling. But my first dress that I wore when we did the overture and we waltzed, it's slippery, and the lace over top of it made it extra slippery, and I would occasionally rip a hole through the front lace. My beautiful poor dresser Svetka was just always I'd come back and be sorry, and she'd be okay, bless that woman. But I think it was July maybe. And it was one of those moments where I stepped on it and I knew I was going down. So I don't know if
those moments when you know you're going down.
It's almost better though, because I fell with a smile and came back up with a smile. Ben Carlson.
You Beyonce'd.
Thank you. Ben Carlson still might have my finger marks in his arm because I was going down, coming back up. But I had a Shakespeare school chat the day after. And they're what's your most embarrassing story? I was well, the other day I fell. And they were we saw that show. And I was that's literally my nightmare. What? Oh my God. And they're we thought you did it on purpose. And I was I can't tell if you're being too kind or what. Because they were you fell with a smile and you came back up. So we thought you were just girly and silly and falling. I was
yes, fake it till you make it.
Silly ingenue.
This is what you learn from the Alexis Gordon, is that the audience never knows. This is a very important thing that you must acknowledge. The audience has no idea when you make a mistake.
True.
Par example.
Yes,
tell me
Franklin
about
Brass, though, standing in the orchestra pit, conducting, and then hearing my patella slam on the stage, looked up horrified. So if you were looking at Franklin, you knew that was wrong.
Oh, maybe we should have done this from the beginning.
It's kind of nice. It's a cool lighting now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we had to move in. Oh, put it on there. Oh, these interviews are so fun. Real life. So, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we had to move inside because real life happened outside, and I wanted to make sure that you could hear lovely Alexis's answers.
But
so
now you get a taste of inside the house. Don't look too close.
Gorgeous.
A little messy.
It's not messy. Real life. We hadn't planned this, guys. We hadn't planned this. Mm-hmm. Moving right along. So we just finished talking about your embarrassing moment. You were going to tell me about a second one.
Maybe I planned this. Maybe you were embarrassing. And I was neighbor, cut your lawn. Harry, walk really loudly on the hardwood floor. Strategy.
I mean, she is not just an actor extraordinaire. She's a strategist. So what was the second one? Do you want to tell us about that?
No.
I mean, one is good enough. One is good enough. It's true.
Can I tell you a hook to this? Maybe this is too Audra. It's too Audra, but I'm going to do it. I asked her that very question when she was in Toronto in concert 2015,
13, I think.
How did you get to meet her in concert?
We got to go and see her mic test.
Who? Why?
Michael Rubinoff, King of Sheridan, obviously he was able to bring like 20 students or something, and my friend was going, and I was like, I need to, and he was like, I don't want to like ask. I was like, but you need to. And I was like, I don't think I'm ballsy enough. I was like, the stakes are high though. Come on, it's Audra. But I was like, oh, I can't. And then I got this Emerging Artist Award with formerly the Acting Upstage Company. Now it's the Musical Stage Company. So we were doing callbacks for the next year's performing artists. And I got to sit on the panel for the callbacks. And randomly, Mitchell Marcus turns to Andreas and I. Andreas Sierra won with me. He's like, hey, any chance you want to go to like Audra's mic test like this weekend, because a few people are going, and like the Kerner Hall people remembered you and were like, do you want to extend it to those guys? And I was like, yes, how please. Did they know?
Listen, God,
I like picked my jaw up and like I think I just squeezed him. I was like, well, yes, duh. And like Andres couldn't go, and I was just like this ball of, oh my god. So she sang Glamorous Life and like didn't sing it that night, so it was cool that we got like that sort of in. And she seems like the coolest, chillest person. But then she was like, cool, I'll take some questions. And if you remember, you know what Kerner Hall looks like. It sort of goes back to the sides, and then so there's like side seating on the sides and up on the balcony, and we were just at the sides because that's the only place they let us sit. And I was sort of closer to the back. Should have run.
I
like
mean,
high
what
stakes.
were you thinking?
I don't know. I blacked out. I don't know. But I was like, oh, I got a question. And I was going to be like, what's your most embarrassing thing? It took a really long time to get to my connecting point of what is your most embarrassing moment. Lord. But I remember sitting there, and like she picked people, and like I could tell she was pointing at me, but the person in front of me was like, oh, and I was like, no. And then she moved to the other side. And I was like,
no.
How have I done this to myself? And I was just like furiously putting my hand up. My friend was just like, put your hand up and just start asking the question. And I was like, I'm too Canadian. But she came back and was like, yes, girl in the orange shirt. Because I think that she just knew that I was bursting, and she knew that anyway. I was like, yes, what is your most embarrassing or funny story? And she told us about ragtime when she told us about when she auditioned for Carousel and fainted in the room and then booked it. Lol. She fainted in the middle of her audition. From like, I think nerves and not enough like breath control and maybe like not eating because she was nervous. She fainted. I was like, that's
a good story. And then booked it.
Yeah, right? And then she told us about when she did ragtime, and spoiler, her character dies. And they lift her...
In case you didn't know.
Sorry. But these men come on stage and they lift her body up and they're singing this wailing funeral song, and it's beautiful and depressing and sad. But I guess they picked her up, and her wig got caught in a Cassie's like button or something. She said she could feel it like... She said she could feel it just getting pulled off, and she said she felt it leave her head. And she said she could hear someone in the front row being like, oh my goodness, that's so sad. Like, Sarah died and she was bald. She said she was just like holding it in. She was like being lifted to the gods to heaven and dying on the inside of laughter.
That's delightful.
As she could feel her wig slowly get pulled off of her head.
She's a star.
Great.
I mean, what?
It's pretty great.
Alexis, have you ever been asked to do something extraordinary for your career? Like, for example, cut your hair really short or get naked? And do you have any deal breakers that you will not do?
The first thing that came to mind was in university, I did the play Some Girls by Neil LaBute. It's a guy meeting up with his ex-girlfriends before he gets married just to see if, sort of a vague summary because there's a bit more to it, but just to see if there's anything there and if he's making the right choice. And I think since then they made a movie version which sort of like even pushed that even further and added another ex, whatever. But my character is very angry with him, but is coming in with like a sweet syrupy smile and a plan to embarrass him as much as he embarrassed her when he left her. And it involves taking our clothes off. And so I remember reading that and being like, how far will that go? But I did audition for that part, so it was sort of interesting that I sort of put myself there anyway. I just thought she was sort of like the juiciest, interesting part. But in the end, it was just sort of like booty shorts and like a lingerie, sort of silky satin, but it was just sort of like little shorts and a tank top, so it wasn't like bra and underwear, because I think I would have been uncomfortable with that. But I remember my dad and my family coming to see it and being like, oh my God, Gwen is my Seventh-day Adventist father. Gonna think of this. So I remember putting my best friend, and I was like, you have to sit beside him. You gotta distract him if he hates it, or tell me if he laughs. He laughed. He laughed his face off. He loved
Amazing.
it. Yeah. Which is funny that was like my sort of biggest thing. It wasn't even my own insecurities. And maybe again, if it was like
more
sort of
and more
bikini top bottom, that would have been a bit more like, but it was, what I expected to happen, or the response from my dad, it didn't happen.
You're lucky. I do have deal breakers.
Yeah.
So
I think I do too. Like, I think that right now I wouldn't be comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like, I did Passion, and they're supposed to be naked in the bed together, but I did a workshop version, but I remember being like, it's a workshop, partially staged, like, what are they going to do? And I remember being like, I'm so happy I'm in the workshop version, because I think if they did the real thing, and they're like, you're Clara, be naked in this bed, I would be like, no.
Mine is nudity too.
Yeah.
And I won't cut my hair.
No.
Let me clarify.
Wigs.
I will cut my hair. But for a ludicrous amount of money, so much money that you might as well make me a wig. Like, really.
On The Amazing Race, you're about to win the $1 million, shave your head. I'd be like, how much after taxes?
Exactly.
And they'd be like, 500,000. I'd be like, up it.
I'm with you.
No, I just still don't know.
No, I agree.
No.
So those are my two deal breakers. I don't have very many, but those are the two.
Yeah. And like, I remember auditioning for like the Book of Mormon and being like, again, my father, I was like, so funny, but it's so like
crass and pushing the envelope and flying in the face of Christianity, or not even organized religion, rather, in general. And so, yeah, my girlfriend, I don't know if you know her, Keisha T. Frazier. She's on an interview, if you watch that back. She was in the Book of Mormon, and we talked about this specific issue and how she got past it and how her family, felt about it. So
I don't think I'm entirely suited for it anyway. Like, it's not like that the dream role anyways, so that is not an existing conflict for me, maybe. Right. Even a little night music, though, last year, like, spoiler, I leave my very old husband and I run off with my son-in-law, and like we make out and I put his hand on my boobs, and it's hilarious in body, but like I was fine with that, but I was curious how my parents would feel about it. Again, my dad was laughing his face off. He loved it, but the church friends would be like, oh, can we see Alexis' show? And my family would be like, no. But this year, I'm a Salvation Army girl, so perfect. Playing a tambourine and talking about Jeebus.
Listen, I did Sweet Charity, and my church came. The whole church came, including the pastor. And then afterwards, wanted pictures together. It was like, they were like, it's a show. Yes. We get what you do. Yeah. We get what you do. Which, you're always like, oh God. But, you got to trust our audiences. You got to give them more credit.
Yes.
In casting as well. Because they will be okay seeing people of color in big roles.
I read an article that was talking about, don't do Avenue Q if you don't have an Asian actress for that one role. And if you don't have Gary Coleman, like, just don't do it. And then sort of in the middle of that article, it was like, at the same time, like, we just have to push for, and they'd actually said, like, more Black Julie Jordans. And I was like, that's me.
I did it!
I did it. Or someone took that risk in casting and said,
why not?
Why not?
She don't know. She was flipping the table. Alexis, what are the challenges of being a person of color in theater in Canada? Do you experience them? Do you feel like the world is changing, or how do you feel it has been for you thus far?
I feel like the world is changing, but only from maybe my scope, because sort of leading off that last question, I was a Black Julie Jordan, and I initially auditioned to be Carrie, and I was like, I'm going to be Audra. Well, I can't stop. I'm so sorry, guys. But I came in and they're like, no, bring the Julie sides back. Like, I don't even know if, like, maybe they were like, okay, cool, sidekick best friend. And even they defied their own expectations by giving me that, like, you wonder how that
whole puzzle works.
Yeah. When I went to university, they're like, you're not the ingenue, you're a character actor. And I was like, oh, okay. And they were like, you're always going to play older. You're never going to be, like, skinny, pretty, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, like, stamped in my head. And then they would give me Juliet stuff. And I was sort of like, what?
Juliet of Romeo and Juliet, who is 14.
And then I graduated, and I did a few shows. But again, like, at Stratford, I've only played ingenue. So it's sort of like...
Well, that's the whole thing, right? That they, even in university where they're there to help and support you, they still try to put you in a box. Primarily so that they prepare you for your career and for the types of Can't say that word right
You
now.
got it. You got it.
Objectified roles that you will be playing as a woman, as a person of color, as a theater actor, as a size. They try to help you. They're trying to just shape your idea of what can happen so that you're not disappointed, because it's a difficult job to have. But even they can be wrong, which is why don't put yourself in a box.
Yeah.
Let other people put you in a box, but don't you put yourself in a box.
And then defy their boxes. Like, don't.
All day, every day.
So, yeah, I love hearing that question now because I wrote, like, a piece with my friend Aisha in university about being, like, I don't have the stereotypical, like, gospel, belty, black girl voice, and I'm already defying my own stereotype by being that, and I go on auditions, and I'm trying to now pick and choose those auditions that I shouldn't go to because I'm not that, but I've been surprised by, okay, R&H is my style, and they actually cast me.
Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Thank you. And, like, even last season, they were like, they're doing Guys and Dolls. I was like, not my show.
Really?
Even though Sarah Brown was like, since grade 9, was sort of like a dream role, I was sort of like, oh no. And that, like, my 5th callback, I was like, oh, maybe this will happen. Like, you need to stop.
You just stop.
Yeah.
You just let other people tell you what you can't do, and then do it anyways.
And then you read the articles where it's like, we're going to do a Othello, and we're not going to cast, like, we're going to cast a white woman because that's interesting. And you kind of just want to flip a table. But there are other places in the world that are doing exciting forward things. It's a tango, I think. It's a lot of forward, and there's backwards, and there's...
And do you find that, from your perspective, do you find that Canadian theater is not pushing the envelope fast enough? Or playing catch-up? Or
not, especially because... the people controlling all of it are still the stereotypes. They're still the older white people, like, which is fine. It's just we need to be getting it backstage. We need to be getting it everywhere. Amazingly enough, though, Stratford this year has more female directors than male directors. Right. Like, that's awesome. That's mind-blowing.
That's what's happening at Shaw. There's probably, I would say, almost half the company of actors specifically are people of color, which is, it's a huge step forward.
Absolutely.
You know, we're not there yet. When we are there, I can stop asking that question.
Right? Can't wait for that time.
I'm excited.
But it's getting noticed, and it's
the conversation right now.
And it's just very intentional, and when when the opposite happens, it looks like it's infuriating. Yeah. It looks like a
slight
snub. Yeah.
That's right.
You'll settle. Good boy. My best friend. Go.
Alexis, are you interested in any other part of the industry? Is there anything else that you would like to do? Directing, writing, anything, stage management.
I always thought I'd actually be a pretty good stage manager because I'm very organized and I'm a little OCD, although that might be why I'm a bad stage manager. Like, blocking is not, whatever. I was having a discussion with my friend the other day about how I'm sort of really happy doing musical theater right now, and I would really love to do more plays. But there's something magical about musical theater specifically, and something about being able to sing, and even that rehearsal process and learning songs and getting in that way, and then going to the script and being able to integrate both of those things. I don't know. And I wrote in university, I wrote a show with my friend, but that's not what's calling me right now, which is sort of interesting.
And what do you think is the best? I wanted to put a break on that first question. Anyways.
You have a ...
But I didn't want a ... I wanted a dash. What is some of the best advice you've ever been given? And by whom?
Oh.
As a performer. Not just in life.
Both.
Although, exactly. I was going to be like, well, that's a lie.
As a performer, the best advice I got was be a sponge. Like, always be learning, always be absorbing. When you think you're the pro and you're done, then you're done. Because that's not what this thing is about.
Yeah. And who's that from?
Especially in live theater. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
It's okay.
Maybe a collection of awesome, smart people. But that's the first thing that I give to young artists I meet, is that to just keep learning.
Me too.
Stay hungry, stay humble is my favorite quote too. I think that's awesome. But also, life advice, best life advice from my parents actually, was that change is inevitable, and sort of get used to finding or being okay with it. You don't have to find joy in it. You don't have to love it, but you have to accept that it's going to happen and be okay with whatever.
Well, that's
comes.
really lucky, actually, because most, this is a new generation of work, really, for lack of a better way of putting it, that we're in this business, this career that is always changing. And so we're used to it. And the people that have been going to university forever and think that they're going to get out of school and go right into a job, it's a new world, and that's not possible. And so those are the people that are struggling more so than the people that know that they might have a job tomorrow, but not one next year.
And we might know that as performers, but it's another thing to live it. Like, again, like going out into the real world after university, where I was like, I got this. And then my 2 jobs were done, and I was like, oh, this is the end of the world.
Right.
Like, I can't. What? But to be okay with, like, I'm going to be working in a shoe store, and one day that will change.
Yeah.
For the better, and I'm very privileged and lucky right now to be working in Stratford, but that will change. I don't know where I'm going to be in a year from now, and I could be working back at a shoe store for all I know, but you have to be okay with the ups and downs.
The flexibility.
And find joy in both things.
Yeah. That's really great advice. I was going to say, what advice would you like to give to future performers?
And future me.
Future Audra wannabes.
Hey,
actually,
stay out my way. That's my no. Okay.
Whoa. Actually, what I was gonna say is future Alexis Gordon wannabes.
Oh, you're sweet, sister. I don't know. I like what I just said because I still just struggle with that, like finding joy every time I leave the theater. Actually, specifically in rehearsals, because this year. This cast is so wonderful, and I'm so appreciative of the Guys and Dolls company and the musical company here, and the entire company. But I just, like, I would leave rehearsals, whether it was good or bad, and I would look up that hill at the Stratford Festival, beautiful theater, and I was just like, life's good. You're here. It's good. And that's easy to forget when you're like, that scene didn't go well. I was flat. That was blocking. Daughter wasn't happy with this. How do I fix that? Oh, I'm whatever. You take that and you put it here. You say,
I'm living a good
grateful.
life.
It's good. It's good. And you appreciate the sunset. And you appreciate the flowers. Even though allergy season is there.
Is upon us.
You take it.
Guys, it is hell for a singer. Allergies.
Niagara on the Lake and Stratford.
Boys and girls. So difficult for a singer. Moving right along. Alexis, what song represents your childhood? This is a new part of the Blacktor studio, guys. I'm very excited.
I'm one of those people, it's like, what's your favorite pop song? And I'm like, what are the kids listening to? I've got like a record player just over there. I listen to like old jazz records. Song of my childhood.
Like when I'm like, oh, a song of my childhood would be something from Jackson 5. Just because. Like immediately, or Stevie Wonder. Like I remember listening to that. Or Raffi. I'm the worst. This is not helpful at all.
I would go to, my mom would put cassette tapes in, and she would drive me around with her on all of her errands. And so Les Mis and Joseph, like before I even knew what theater was, I never saw them. I listened to them.
But you said your mom, like they weren't really interested in that.
They didn't watch it really.
But they listened to it.
Yeah, I think my mom saw, like she saw Chorus Line back in the 80s in New York. Like she liked it. She just didn't consistently go to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So she had the Les Mis cassette tape. Joseph, for sure. What else did I listen to? I listened to a lot of Sarah Brightman. Like, hilarious. Yeah. And my mom loved Simon and Garfunkel. Like, where my friends are like, my parents listened to the Beatles, and that's how I know the Beatles. I was like, who dat? My mom was like, Simon and Garfunkel. Bridge over. Like, my mom was a band nerd, though. Like, she played violin in the, like, high school orchestra. So it was like, cool, I got my musical theater and my Sarah Brightman. Like,
that's
picture
crazy.
a little child being like, what is it, Time to Say Goodbye? Like,
how's that go?
Time to say goodbye. But they go into, oh my God, what are they saying? Sing in another language. I think it's Italian. And I would just improv whatever vowels I heard.
I understand.
Which, looking back on, you're sort of like, why did I think that was good or okay? I would say that, and also like gospel tapes, because my dad would put on like gospel VHS tapes, and there'd be like concerts of like Kirk Franklin or stuff like that, which is not my voice type, but like I love singing along to.
I really love inside the actor studio questions at the end of the show. So this is what I always wanted to do with this show. But I feel like those questions aren't really, they're not really pulling for people. Like, people don't really care about these questions anymore, even though I love them.
The intrigue. What do you mean? What?
Do you know which ones?
No.
What is your favorite word? What is your least favorite word? Like, I don't think it really sits in our time. It's not really
I
appropriate.
don't have good answers for either of those.
Okay, it's okay. I got another one. Hold on.
I'm not that person who hates moist. I just don't, I don't care.
I don't care either. Just like, I love the word cunt. It's my favorite word.
I don't think I've ever heard you swear.
Girl. Get ready. Okay. What was the last book you read that was not play oriented?
I'm trying to read.
Tick.
Ask me again.
What's the last play you read? That's. What's the last book you read that was not play related?
I'm trying to read 3 books right now, I think. And a play, actually. Porgy and Bess, still haven't made it through. It's like written with the dialect, so that's tricky. So you have to get into the rhythm to really get into it. I'm reading You Can't Touch My Hair by
what is this book?
Phoebe Robinson. It's the host of Two Dope Queens, that podcast.
Very cool.
It's great. And
is it funny?
Jessica, yeah, like every sentence is funny. Like, I keep putting it down because I like can't keep up with like the hilarity. Like, I'm reading and it's like chatting with your best friend. It's like it's
awesome.
But it's too much in the best way. So sometimes I'm just like, whoo, put that in.
That was Mindy Kaling for me.
That was
Mindy Kaling's book?
Yes.
I felt like, oh my gosh, we have to be friends because
yes,
she's speaking directly to me.
Totally. So I'm reading that. I'm reading another book right now. What am I reading? I love floral everything, and I love paper. I love stationery. It's kind of nerdy and strange. Like, I love handwritten cards. You know, I have terrible writing, and I love different colored like pens and stamps, vintage stamps and stuff. But I'm reading this book about this woman who cut out little tiny floral paper sort of arrangements that she made, and it looks like pressed flowers, but they're actually cut out painted paper. And this was in like, I don't know, like the 1700s. Like, like hundreds of years ago, and it's all preserved, and it's just sort of about her life. It's actually really neat.
Alexis Gordon, if you were writing a memoir about your life, what would the chapter about the last 5 years be? The chapter about today be? And the chapter about your future be?
Multi-layered. Like, what would it be called?
Yes.
That's very difficult.
I know.
That's really interesting. It's funny we're having the conversation about memoir books. Oh gosh, I don't know. I feel like it should all just be called Still Learning.
Memoir, Alexis Gordon, Still Learning.
Yeah.
Chapter 1, the last 5 years.
The last 5 years. And then it would be like the music notes for Jason Robert Brown's the last 5 years. No, what would it be? The last 5 years would be like, oh, I don't know, because I don't know where I'm going to be or what I'm going to...
No, last 5 years. You know what happened.
But do you know what I mean? You got to set it up to project the...
No. Go.
I don't know.
It's going so well.
Wait, last 5 years, what's the next one? I'll go back to it.
Okay. The next 5 years.
The next 5 years.
Or the future.
Future.
Today. And the last 5 years.
Today would be like lessons from the tambourine or something, because it's Sarah Brown, tambourine. Maybe the last 5 years would be like finding the ingenue or the something like that.
Finding the ingenue.
Where I was like, I'm a character actor, and maybe I will be, and I still can play different things, but finding the ingenue, out that you could do
then
that.
Learning the tambourine.
No, like Tales from the Tambourine Girl or something.
Tales from the Tambourine
I don't play
Girl?
it well, but it's funny.
Fair.
And then the future. A glass of wine a day keeps the doctor away.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Alexis Gordon, for joining us on the Blacktor Studio. To see more of the beautiful Alexis, please come to the Stratford Festival and see her on stage singing your heart out as Sarah Brown in Guys and Dolls. And join us next time for another amazing interview
with tambourine.
I loved ya.
I love you.
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode of the Blacktor Studio.